Hello everyone, and here we are again. It's Tuesday, 12 o'clock-ish, I guess. For those of you people watching me on Facebook Live, and I was just sitting here, I was waiting for my Circle of Life song to go through a little bit on churchtalkradio.com, because that's where we're also broadcasting, churchradio.com. Oh, and if you have any questions as we go along today, give us a call, 631-766-9931. I could show you on Facebook, but then it comes backwards and you can't really see it. So 631-766-9931 if you have any questions. Hey, so we've been having some pretty nice weather, right? Finally, in a row, 3 or 4 days in a row. It's been pretty good. So, I get up early and go to the gym, and it's really nice not having it to be like 30. I go to the gym. I take care of my heart, right? That's what I do. 5 days a week, about an hour and a half a day. And that's one of the things that I do. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Our heart, our healthy heart, and how to make it healthy, how to keep it that way. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of people have heart disease, and actually heart disease, and I got my notes just so you know what I'm reading. Heart disease is the number one cause of death in the United States today. And that's huge. It's a lot of people. 600 million plus people die in the United States every year just from heart disease. And that's 1 in 4. Okay, that's 1 in 4. So let's put that a little bit in perspective, right? So you're going out with your 4 buddies, and you're going to hit a bar, and you have this big sloppy burger and like 3 layers of cheese, bacon, on a sourdough bun or whatever. And then you have this nice deep fried French fries that are fried in hydrogenated fat, So you're eating that, but then you're also drinking, right? You can have a Bud or a Heineken or whatever the heck you're drinking. And say you do that once a week. And you're like, well, I can get away with this, I'm 20 years old, I'm 25 years old, I can get away with that. Well, if you do it 40 times a year, let me tell you, you can't get away with that. That's going to knock you off. So if you're out there doing that, and even if you're my age and you're doing that, 56 years old, banging around with that terrible foods. So you got 4 people, 1 in 4. Guess what? You got 25% chance of being the one who's going to die of heart disease. Right, so that's what that means. And that's really, I don't want to play with those odds. It's tough enough to try to stay well and healthy and live a long, healthy, productive life without going off the path there, So how much does that cost the United States every year? $108.9 billion a year. So that's huge, because that's all the medications and all the surgeries, and don't think for a minute that the government's got your back when it comes to your health, man. They want to keep you sick, believe it or not. They want to keep you sick because it makes them money. Those big pharmaceutical, big pharma, right? They're making $108 billion a year on all their drugs. Like statins, a lot of people on statins because their cholesterol's high, right? And it's supposed to keep you from having heart disease and plaque and all the other stuff. Well, guess what? It doesn't. It actually causes heart disease. You could read that, man. Look it up. Right on Google. It causes heart disease. So it also causes diabetes and impaired muscle function. It can cause cataracts in your eyes, liver damage, kidney damage. A lot of drugs. They all have side effects, and sometimes those side effects are worse than the disease that you have, and sometimes it even causes the disease, and that's the case here. Statin drugs are given for people with the high cholesterol, but how does it do that? How does it keep your cholesterol low? It's real easy. Now, your liver manufactures cholesterol, right? And cholesterol is important. You need it for just about every reaction in the body. You need it for your hormones. You need it for your heart. It's a very controversial thing. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So, what are they talking about? Oh, your statins. The statins, what it does, it makes your liver sick. It actually makes your liver sick so it doesn't produce the cholesterol. Then your cholesterol comes down, but eventually then you have a sick liver. What's worse? It's hard to say. I'd rather deal with it a natural way, and there are natural ways to deal with high cholesterol, and one of them is exercise. And I was reading something here, and I wrote it down. Have it in my little newsletter here on Heart Health, it's called, and on my website. So if you go to totalhealthwellnesscenter.com, you can pull this up and a whole bunch of other cool blogs that I got there. It says, according to the CDC, an astonishing 80% of adults do not get the recommended amount of physical activity. The U.S. government recommends adults get at least 2.5 hours of moderate intensity, right? That's it. Moderate intensity of aerobic exercise a week, or about an hour and 15 minutes of vigorous intensity activity or combination. Now the thing is, are you really astonished that 80% of people in the U.S. don't get enough physical activity? I see it every day. Patients come in the office, and my main goal is to keep them out of my office, believe it or not, and have them there in case they have some pains or if there's something that they need. I want to get people in and out as fast as possible. You give them these exercise routines, nothing terrible, nothing, like I do, but just enough to keep them going and keep them healthy, and they don't do it. So, that 80% doesn't really astonish me. Shouldn't really astonish you either. Let's see. So, there's a lot of things that have been done for preventative medicines, right? So this doctor, what's his name? Dr. Dean Ornish, right? He's an MD, founder and president of the Preventive Medicine Research Institute. Along with multiple studies, has shown that significant lifestyle change, right? That's what we're talking about when you start exercising and eating right. That's a whole lifestyle change. You can't do it for a day, a week, a month. You got to do it for the rest of your life if you want to have a good shot of being healthy for many, many years to come. So healthy lifestyle change, blood flow to the heart, and its ability to pump normally can improve in just weeks. And that's so true. Once you start doing something, anything, it makes a dramatic change in a short period of time. Because your body's not used to doing it, and once it starts doing it, it adapts and then starts to be healthier, so you can continue to do it. Your heart is a muscle, just like any other muscle in your body, and should be worked. It's hot in here today. Anyways, so let's get back to a couple of things from the CDC. 49% of Americans have heart disease. Have at least three factors: high blood pressure, high LDLs, which is quote unquote the bad cholesterol, and we really don't know that yet. That has changed also a little bit. And smoking. Okay, well, smoking is bad for everything. So you might be sitting there, well, I'm pretty good. I take care of myself. I eat pretty well. I don't really have nothing to worry about. Well, I'm going to give you a little story. It's my story. Back in September of 2016, I almost died. Now, I almost died from what? It's septic. It's an inflammation, a staph infection, and what had nobody still knows to this day really what happened. But I could say it's funny now, but looking back at it, I guess it wasn't so funny. I thought I had the flu. Back in September, me and my wife, and it was my girlfriend at the time, I took my mother for breakfast for her birthday, and it was on a Sunday. And on the way back, home, I started feeling pretty sick, and it kind of, moved very vigorously. And I'm thinking, well, I got the flu. All right, so I got the flu. I haven't had the flu in like forever. So I told my wife, we were supposed to go out that day. I said, you want to go out? Go ahead, go. I'm going to stay home. I got to rest a little bit, because it's Sunday and I got to work tomorrow. So, and I'll be all right tomorrow. So I was kind of miserable most of the day, and then I didn't even show up on Monday for work. I didn't call and do anything. I mean, I was just out cold. And yeah, this does kind of relate. This definitely relates to what we're talking about. So I had a buddy of mine who was at the office. He came and knocking on the door, and I didn't hear anything. He said he was knocking for like 15 minutes. He went back to the office, and they got a hold of my wife, Michelle. She called me, and I just happened to be awake, I guess, and she said she's coming over to take me to the hospital. And I said, all right, I could wait. We'll do it, when you get home. And she said, nope, coming now. So let's make a long story short right here. I went to the hospital, and they admitted me, ASAP. My white blood cells were like 15,000, and they should be between 5,000 and 8,000. So they were freaking out. And what had happened is the staph infection rested in my heart. And then, of course, all the blood going through, it went everywhere. Messed up my bladder, my prostate. It messed up my kidney, my left kidney especially, and my liver. And I'm back to this day, I'm still not right. I'm still trying to take care of all that stuff. So bottom line is, you don't ever know. So why would you want to, not take care of yourself and not take care of your heart and be healthy and just roll the dice and think, you're going to be okay. So, just a little story. So again, it's just like you don't know what you don't know. So, what else we got here? Okay. Again, we talked about the controversy of cholesterol, and it has a lot to do with heart disease, and maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. There's a lot of new research out. But back in the 60s, they put it together that a lot of people who had heart disease had high cholesterol. So they kind of put it together that one meant the other. And then that's when they tell you, you can stop eating cholesterol, don't eat any eggs. And eggs is actually an awesome food, by the way, as long as it's organic. Organic eggs, free-range organic eggs. I mean, that doesn't mean, that the eggs are running around in the fields, like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and Foghorn Leghorn back in the day. Those were real cartoons, man. Not like the animated cartoons now. Too much stress in the cartoons, even for kids. You got to make sure that they're cholesterol-free. They're organic eggs. All right. So, and then they started to come out with all these medications. Or pharmaceutical company, jumped all over this. It's like, oh man, how much money could we make if we start making these cholesterol lowering medications and start selling them to people and tell them, look, let's just keep this rolling. So that's basically what happened. And it's only been a little recently that the new research has come that says that actually as we get older, having a little bit of high cholesterol is really a good thing. People in their 60s. They find that if you have cholesterol around 200, 220, that you actually have less heart disease than people have lower cholesterol. So there's something to be said for that, and there's going to be a whole bunch of new research coming out for there, And there's also something to be said about quote unquote preventative medicine that they've used. It's pretty tough. Again, years ago, they used to take X-rays of pregnant women, just to see the pelvic size and how's the baby's going to come out. And, now we know radiation on a pregnant woman isn't the greatest thing. And we had all kinds of problems with the children, like leukemia and whatnot, So that preventative medicine didn't work out too well. And then they were given a drug that came out again. It was called, I'm going to read it because I don't remember it. Diethylstilbestrol. Yeah, right. That's what it is. Don't ask me to spell it, but that's what it is. It was to prevent miscarriages. So either you had a propensity for miscarriages, or we're just going to give you this drug and make sure you don't have a miscarriage. And that caused all kinds of infertility, it caused cancer, it caused mutations, and it was nuts. So, there's so many examples of these preventative drugs that are out there, even like vaccines. Again, and that's a huge battle, right? Because you can't really make your kids go to school if you don't have the vaccines. But you really can. There is a way. You can go online, look it up. There's so much information on that, and linking these vaccines to autism. So, just 20, 25 years ago, it was 1 in 150,000 kids had autism, and now it's 1 in 38. What the heck is that all about? Now, it's not only the vaccines, right? It's about the foods that we eat. They're contaminated. Yeah, pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, hormones, GMOs, all kinds of letters, whatever you want to call them. You think you're eating healthy, and you're eating better, but you're not eating the healthy because you're eating all these chemicals, and nobody's don't know how to deal with those. So, what do you do about that? You go organic as much as you possibly can. Yeah, it costs a little bit more money, maybe about 25% more, but in the long haul, it's going to save you a lot of money on meds and medication, especially like kids. Kids are brought up on this stuff. Like when I was young, we didn't have any of this. I don't think GMOs came out until like 94, 96, something like that. Again, it's all about money. United States, it's all about money. Give me the money. I want your money. They don't have that in other states, other countries. They're getting rid of all the GMO farms. I had a patient who went to Peru. She played soccer, and she's a really good soccer player in college. She went to Peru to play some soccer, and she was gone for a couple of months or whatever. And she came back, and she was like 25 pounds lighter. And I was like, oh man, snap. Didn't you like the food when you were there? Now again, she was an athlete. She was a little heavy, but she was still a great athlete. But when she came back, she had lost the weight. She goes, no, doc. She goes, I ate everything. And I ate a lot of everything. But it was all fresh. Right? If they needed, and you eat chicken, they killed the chicken right there. And then you had the chicken. There's no GMOs. She said they were actually torching the GMO farms while she was there. So that was Peru, and there's a lot of other countries that are like that are more for, let's stay healthy, citizens, make them more productive, and in the long run, that's better for the economy, right? I guess we haven't caught up yet. Greed's an awful thing. So just be careful about what you're putting into your mouth, and try to get as healthy a food as you possibly can. All right. After 32 years of being a chiropractor, being adjusted also helps. Can help your heart, it can help everything by increasing your productivity of your nervous system, your immune system. I had a patient many, many years ago. I'd been doing this 32 years. I was just like a rookie, man. I think I was in practice for like 2 years. And it was like really practicing. I was practicing. I felt bad for everybody. I should give everybody their money back who came in the beginning. So I had this gentleman. He came in. Actually, he's pretty tall. He's about 6'4", man. He's a tall dude. And he had some back pains and neck pains. And we took some x-rays. And I found out that he had a twisted spine, man. And especially where the nerves right between his shoulder blades were, and a lot of those nerves, control your heart regulation and some blood flow around the area. And I said, dude, this isn't good. I know you have some pains, but we got to correct this because it could help, help your heart be healthier. You don't know what could happen if the stimulation is not right. And just so you know, the very first symptom of a lot of people when they have their very first heart attack, you die. That's your first symptom. And 40% of the people who have an ischemic attack or heart attack, you die. That's it. That's all you get. So, you want to roll the dice and eating those like big chunky burgers all the time. That's up to you. But I wouldn't want to do that. Once in a while, it's not going to hurt you. Once in a while, nothing's going to hurt you. But anyways, back to the gentleman here. So once I told him that, and I sat down with him, and I told him that, he thought I was nuts. He was like, what do you know? Or, yeah, my spine is going to help my back, and I understand that, but it's not going to do anything to my heart. I was like, well, the nerves come out. That's where they come from, man, and they stimulate. Anyways, I got a call from his wife. He died 2 weeks later of a heart attack. I'm not saying that's the only reason, and I'm not even saying I don't even know if I could have helped him if I adjusted him, or if anything at that point, but that's... I don't believe in coincidences or anything like that. So, that's an awful thing. So, chiropractic is an awesome thing too. It's natural, no drugs, keeps your immune system rocking and rolling, especially if you're a little kid. Get sick less. My kids are never sick. They've been adjusted since they've been day one, So, anyways, back to this cholesterol thing and heart disease. None of this cholesterol, heart disease link has ever really been proven, without a shadow of a doubt. It's kind of like an assumption. And right now there's so much money made being, there. $108 billion, that's a lot of money, man. You think they're going to reverse that? I don't think that's happening anytime soon. So... they don't call it the silent killer for no reason, right? That's your high blood pressure, because that's another thing. When you're smoking, you get high blood pressure. Why is that? Because then your arteries start to get very thick, and they don't expand very much. Your blood pressure goes up, and then you keep doing that. Again, your choice, your health, your choice. I tell everybody, look, it's your health. Don't waste it. Then there's a lot of people that come in and they just say, Doc, man, I just love to eat. I got to eat. Oh, you want to eat that Western diet, right? Go ahead, eat that Western diet. Processed foods, artificial sugars, and these enormous portions. How do you base a restaurant, right? Well, man, they gave me so much food and I ate it all, right? You sit down, your body can't digest that stuff, man. And it's such a havoc on your digestive system and your gut, and, leaky gut syndrome, that's a whole another thing, So, you want to eat a lot? I'll tell you how to eat a lot. You live longer, right? And you eat a lot, So you eat less portions. We're supposed to be eating 5 or 6 small portions every day. For me, it's a little bit easier for me because, for the most part, and most days I'm in the office, so I can cook all my food and put them in some glass Tupperware type things and store them in the fridge, and I just kind of heat them up when you eat them. But you can basically do the same thing anywhere. It's just a little bit harder. Even if you're out on the road, you can cook a few things. And instead of running into 7-Eleven, that's a great thing, right? You run into 7-Eleven, these people come out with Slurpees bigger than their head. I'm like, really? That thing's gotta have like 100 grams of sugar in it, man. You might as well just stamp your death warrant right on that sucker. Or at least diabetes is coming if you don't have it already. Most people have diabetes and they don't even know it, man. It's crazy. About half the population has pre-diabetes or full-blown diabetes. I got a little dog. He's Pugsley. He's a little puggle. Unfortunately, developed the diabetes. He's freaking obese, man. About a month ago or so, and could be a little longer. I'm not even sure. So we had to get him on insulin. And I was like, well, let's just change his diet. Give him different foods. And the veterinarian told my wife, she goes, the dog, his metabolism's different. It's not really going to make a difference. Going to make a difference. Well, I'll feed him vegetables. When I'm making salad, I feed him cucumbers, tomatoes, watermelon. Well, they eat all that stuff. Now, why not just add that stuff in? But, hey, I'm not a veterinarian. What the heck do I know? Anyways, he's now blind because of the insulin. Because one of the questions I always ask everybody who has diabetes is, where's the sugar go, brother? Where's it go? You got 300. Your sugar's at levels at 300. Should be at 90, 80. And then it comes down to 200 or 150. Where's the sugar go? It goes everywhere. first thing that goes is your eyes, man. You know, and then you get neuropathies, all kinds of crazy things. Well, you know, what does this have to do with healthy heart? Well, really nothing, but you know what? It has to do with health. And that's what we're here for, right? Wellness. Wellness could be anything, right? You know, eating well is a great thing, right? You know, exercising, that's wellness. You know, spirituality, that's wellness. You need all that. You know, good, strong relationships, again, wellness. Financial strength, wellness, right? Because if you're struggling and the money ain't right, man, you know, stress is kicking your butt. And you're not so healthy then, right? Or if your relationship isn't square, you know. So those are the things that, you know, you could reach out, man. You could reach out to your local church. They have a lot of cool stuff when it comes to relationships. So, ooh, man, look at that. I got 2 minutes left, man. We've been talking a lot. You know, my friends told me, you know, Doc, you know, they don't call me Doc, my friends are Frank, you know, you're a little boring, you know, and your life, and he goes, be yourself, you know, because I'm just trying to get some strict information in there. So, anyways, we got to end this thing real quick. Again, I'm Dr. Frank Gomez in Sayville. My office number is 631-991-3492. Listen, if you call and make an appointment, I'll give you a free consultation. And if you choose to do the wellness program, I'll give you $100 off if you just tell them you listened today. I think that's pretty cool. And don't forget, churchtalkradio.com. It's 24 hours. Got a lot of good stuff on there. You want to feed your spirituality, there's a place to be. So until next week, be happy, be safe, be blessed. Thank you.